Thank you for joining us for In the Studio. This episode, we are talking with two dumpster diving disruptors. I am Hannah Nakano, publisher of The Dirt, and today we're talking about landfills and dumpster diving and how one really unique new nonprofit in Davis is disrupting the flow of garbage to our local dump. The Davis Community Mercantile opened last year. You may have already heard about them. You may know they're the new reuse store in town, but there is so much more to this place than just a thrift store. The Community Mercantile is a bit of a think tank. It hosts classes, it's building and maintaining a tool lending library, offers private consultations on how to downsize in a sustainable way. Volunteers and staff at Community Mercantile collect things people are no longer using, and this doesn't mean through donations. They're not asking for your Goodwill pile. What they're doing is finding functional things people are throwing out and getting them back into use. Clean the items, fix the items, then sell them at rock bottom prices to keep it out of the landfill. We're joined today by visionary founders of Community Mercantile, Stephanie Coop and Larry Fisher. Hi, thank you.
Hi, Hannah.
Everything you're doing is so amazing. I think on surface level, people in town know about Community Mercantile as a store, but I would love to hear from you too, Larry. I'd like to start with you. What is your hope for the Mercantile? What do you hope it does for the community?
My hope is that it opens up new avenues for people to recycle. They call it deep recycling, and it'd be great if people could find greater levels of recycling, and so that we can be an example here in Davis of getting more things out of the landfill and back into circulation, into people's hands. Yeah.
Stephanie, this has been like a lifelong mission of yours, right? This is something you grew up with. Can you tell us a little more about your background and how you got into this type of work?
Well, I've been a nurse for many years, but when I was growing up, my family always had used items in our household, and my parents had an apartment complex at some time, throughout our growing up, that we always got used items from, and we incorporated those into our daily living, as well as clothing from friends and other relatives. It was just a regular way of life. And as I grew up and into an adult, I incorporated that into my daily living, and I would go out searching for recyclable items, trash on the streets, and just was always concerned about the environment. Yeah.
How did you two meet each other and come together, and how did you know Davis needed this?
Oh, that was interesting. Both our friends were basically, we would say what we believed in and what we saw we needed to do for the town, and they would say to me, "Oh, you need to meet Stephanie Coop." And I think that might have happened on the other side, where she expressed her need to have something go forward that would help recycling and waste stream diversion. And I think also that people would say, "Stephanie, you need to see Larry Fisher." Sound accurate?
You two were kind of
Yeah.
You
It was a match made by by our friends. Yeah. And so we finally met, and the first meeting we had together, I think it was outside of Pete's Coffee downtown. And Larry taped it, as is his wont. And I think we talked for 3 hours straight, and we knew that we had something going there. And we both were searching for something that we felt the community really needed. And even though we both want to make a big change in the world, we both felt that doing it locally was the way to go.
I have a few questions from that. First is how long, tell me the timeline between when you had that 3-hour coffee and when the doors opened at Community Mercantile.
A year maybe?
Year and a half.
Guys,
yeah.
That's really powerful.
We had to find a place, a location. It was all theoretical that we knew we had to do something, but we had to find a location. So we went to several places that were not really appropriate for what we wanted to do, but we met nice people and we just kept looking until we found this place there on Cantrell. Yeah.
I feel really... Sorry.
We have some photos. No, I'm sorry. I was going to say we have some photos of your space here.
Oh, yeah.
Bursting at the seams. And I guess maybe we should backtrack even farther a little and talk about where you're getting this stuff. Because again, like I touched on at the beginning, this isn't, you don't want people's Goodwill piles, right? You're past that.
Yeah, we do take limited donations depending on the time of the year and what we have available to us. That's just being thrown away. But, it depends on what we have in the shop as to what we will accept. And unlike stores that, like other thrift stores that throw away stuff that they can't use, we will try to find another home for it, even if it's just giving it away. Yeah, the goal is not to make money from this. It's rather to get it back into the community and hopefully be able to pay our rent and utilities and so forth. Nobody's making any money on this, neither Larry nor I, and that's not the primary goal. The primary goal is to get stuff back into use and to get people used to buying used. Primarily, starting out buying used products instead of immediately going to Amazon or Walmart or Target.
Right. Yeah, that's such a big mindset change that so many people need to have within themselves too, which is, I think Davis is kind of a unique place to be already for that, but there's still, I'm sure, so much work to be done. And I was just thinking, seeing all those photos of your shop, I've seen you, Stephanie, come in on a weekend day after doing your rounds, and like your vehicle is full of things.
Right.
A full truck that otherwise would have been like in the landfill.
Right.
Tell me about the things you're finding, and because I think it's so fascinating. There are things that are not broken, things that are just in a trash can, right?
Right. So, Larry and I focus on different things. Larry focuses more on food waste and construction waste, and I focus more on furniture, home goods, home decor, kitchen stuff. People throw away clothing. I didn't even know throwing away clothing was a thing until I started working with the city of Davis with apartment move out, close to 10 years ago. And I was dismayed to find that when people leave, if they don't have enough room, or don't want to pay the money, to do something else with their clothing, they'll just throw it away. And they do that with all types of other kitchenware, furnishings, art. I've even picked up some unique art that people have, that artists have made and then sold it. And it's amazing to me, the things that people will throw out as trash. I just don't understand it.
Yeah. There's a
Yeah,
time element. Yeah, there's a time element often when people may be moving, they're leaving the dorms or something like that, and they have a time limit. But if they could only plan ahead a little bit and find homes for some of these objects so that they're not so impacted by the last of the end of the school year, and they have to leave and they have to get their security deposit back. And we really like it when an apartment complex will set aside a fenced off area and basically put a sign up that says, please don't put this good things in the dumpster, set them aside. And those are things that we can pick up and put into the community mercantile. Yeah.
It seems like the store is like a great reason to have the brick and mortar. Oh my gosh, a great place to go and meet and meet with community members and friends. But I just want to reiterate like how much more than a store this is. Would one of you like to take that and talk to me about the classes you offer and some of that wonderful stuff?
Well, mostly I'm in the store Wednesdays through Sundays, and I have to say, when I started this store, it was for the goal of putting stuff back into the community, putting, usable goods back into the community, and I had no idea what it would bring out in the community, which was this sense of gratitude from like-minded individuals, appreciating the opportunity to have a place like this, and the fun and community that I've found at the store, and how being a store owner is so much more than just owning a store. It's really an opportunity to connect with other like-minded individuals and problem solve together, and it's been great. Right now, we have a pause on our classes just because it's the busiest season of the year for Larry and I with salvaging, because the students are all leaving during the summer, and so we haven't had any classes planned for the last few months, but hopefully in the fall we'll start doing some more classes, and we're still in the process of getting the tool lending library up and running. It's quite a job, because we have a lot of tools that need to be, if not refurbished, somewhat repaired, and figure out the whole, the leasing, not the leasing process, but the waiver signing for tool lending, so that people don't hurt themselves.
Right. It's a lot to figure out, I'm sure.
Yeah. But I mean, we would like this store to be even more, and welcome ideas from the community, to promote other ways of recycling, reuse, and working with other community members. One of my big ideas is to have local nonprofits use our warehouse as a warehouse for themselves and have them have some kind of subscription membership to our warehouse, whereby we could provide them with a lot of the goods that they need for their clientele. The crisis centers, the homeless shelters, and so forth.
And you've
We've
worked
already
with
provided quite a bit. Yeah, we've already worked with Paul's Place quite a bit. Yeah.
I know you guys supported a lot of Ukrainian families as well when they relocated to our area. And
we continue to do that.
Yeah, it's really incredible. Are there, you guys, this has been so wonderful, and I don't want to keep you for too long, but I will ask you, before I let you go, Larry, if people want to volunteer, is this something that you welcome? How would you, are there things you're looking for out of volunteers, or how do you deal with that?
Well, people come in at all different levels of expertise, and some of it is, sorting and getting things ready to present to the public. And then other people who want to volunteer, if they're talented and they want to run a workshop. We had one woman who showed flower arranging. I attended that one and it was great. Another person did one on decluttering, which is really a big important theme that we're so impacted with so many things and decluttering. And so different workshops are really valuable, and we know we're limited in how much knowledge we can put out there, but other people can come in and also say, I do such and such and I want to run a workshop, and we welcome those kind of things.
Wonderful. You have the space and you have the voice on the internet to let people know about those events. So that's really cool. Guys, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for all that you bring to Davis with the Mercantile.
Thank you,
and
Hannah.
Thank you for joining us.
It was a pleasure.
For this. Such a pleasure.
Thanks,
so
Hannah.
fun, you guys. Thank you, everyone watching, for joining us for this episode. If you liked it, if you learned something, forward it to a friend. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Hannah.